What up, chat? I swear to God, bro. Dragon Ball fans are some of the most confusing people on the planet. Like, how are you a fan of something that you don't even try to attempt to understand? It's like, it's so annoying to me. I find that like incredibly annoying. This nigga, bro. So now he's appealing to the manga. Like, first of all, he doesn't even talk about what specifically like he's referring to. Secondly, can we stop here? There was no revival of F in the manga. There was a page, and then we got like there was a time skip, and then we moved on. Like, we got one page telling us about what happened in the Frieza fight. That's it. What up, sir, man? All right, let me not rant before we get into all the nitty gritty and the details real quick. Let me just introduce everything first, and then we could just talk about it in a second. Because I have a very huge issue with people who claim to be fans of something or claim to know something and they don't know it. It's very annoying. So, like, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about in 2.7 seconds. There's some more people getting here real quick. I'm just genuinely confused as to how you can call yourself a fan of something and you don't even make the attempt to understand it or genuinely know it. Like, you argue things consistently, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, also, if something is being called the divine technique, it's because it requires divine energy in order to use it. Okay. Like, that's why the Hakai is called the divine technique, right? Like, these things are considered divine techniques because of them requiring divine ki, divine energy as a means to perform it. Okay. So when we claims it is a divine energy or like a divine technique, by proxy, that already implies that divine energy is needed. I didn't think I needed to like explain basic context clues and inferences, but like, dude. So I'm gonna show y'all exactly who I'm talking about. I'm gonna show y'all exactly what I'm referring to, because the fact that I have to explain this makes me want to jump off the nearest roof. It's annoying me. Like, bro, this is insane that I have to like genuinely break this down now. Like, bro. Good stuff. Good stuff, Fusion. Thank you. That is my entire point. That is my entire point. Like, okay, let me explain it. I'm gonna explain the point that I made in my video just for anybody who didn't watch it previously. Matter of fact, if you didn't watch the video, go back and watch it. Right? If you didn't watch the video, go back and watch it, get the full context, and then come back. If you did watch the video already, I'll give you the short. Hell, hold on. I'm not playing no fiend in here. Like, okay, I'm gonna show y'all exactly. Fiend almost came on. I had to switch that completely. I've seen a video where someone said base Goku at the start of Super is weaker than Namek Frieza. That's his name is it's not, is it Leo Therapy or something like that? But yeah, his name is Leo Therapy. He doesn't know what he's talking about half the time. He just be running his mouth about absolutely nothing. Like, nothing. And so he thinks that like base Goku is weaker than Namek Frieza, even though Goku surpassed his Super Saiyan form in base a long time ago, like anime and manga. In the anime, it's way more clear too. But okay, for those who need a recap of my video earlier, I made a video talking about Saiyan Beyond God, right? This video, it basically is about me going over the configuration of Saiyan Beyond God and how it works and just the overall, making of the ability. Okay. Saiyan beyond God is a state of being. It's a state of being that Saiyans can use, um, and they can use this basically to use it. It requires taking God key and controlling it in your base form, right? That's what Saiyan beyond God is. Okay. Now, Saiyan beyond God is weaker than Super Saiyan God, but it's stronger than the Super Saiyan God that appears in the events of Battle of Gods. Does that make any sense? If I lost you, like I'll say it again. Saiyan beyond God is stronger than the Super Saiyan God transformation that we see in Battle of Gods, like that, those events. It's stronger than that, but it's not stronger than the overall concept of Super Saiyan God. Does that make any sense now? Like, conceptually, Saiyan beyond God is beneath Super Saiyan God, conceptually. So, in terms of actual application, it's a little bit different. But like I said, in terms of just the configuration and how it works, Super Saiyan God is stronger. Now, what I'm getting at is that pretty much, exactly, like that, just like that. So, the whole point that I was trying to make was the fact that Ultra Instinct and the ability to use that divine technique in his base forms, in his Super Saiyan forms, in his Super Saiyan God forms, that's a showing of Saiyan beyond God, an ability to tap into divine energy in your lower tier forms. That's all I was saying. Like, I just honestly don't understand how that was so hard to grasp. So then this person randomly pops up in my comment section trying to be like Mr. Know-It-All, right? And I can't stand a Mr. Know-It-All. Hold on. Do you think the events in Super are canon to GT? Some people do. I wouldn't be opposed to the idea, but so far, like, I wouldn't say, okay, God, I gotta really make that canon guide video. Okay, so I think the Battle of Gods and Resurrection F movies are canon to the GT timeline. I don't think Dragon Ball Super as a whole, the Broly movie, superhero, I don't think any of that's canon to the GT timeline. Okay. But like the Dragon Ball Z movies, Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, I think are canon to GT, and I think there's some evidence for it as well. Besides that, though, Super is not canon to GT. Just so everyone gets that. Super is not canon to GT. I don't know who was in the car. I'm like, what? But yeah, like I was saying, Super and GT are not like canon to each other. If I'm being honest, they're separate but canon. They're separate but canon continuities. If that makes sense. Okay, back to what I was saying about this guy though, right? Because again, I genuinely have a problem with people who think they know everything, don't know anything. It annoys me, very annoying. So here is the person in question. I'm gonna put him up on the screen. I guarantee you their reasonings for why GT wasn't canon was because of like conflicting events or like Goku not using the God forms or anything like that. Even though it's assumed that like first of all, that argument is so bad for so many reasons because retroactive inclusion is a thing where like things are contradicted or changed. Like for example, like if I make a series, right, and then I make another movie, and I'm like, hey, this movie isn't connected at first, but like later on down the line, I want to connect them. I can just contradict certain things in order to make it inclusive. That happens in fiction all the time. Like Prometheus and Alien, like, did y'all forget that? Did y'all forget that Prometheus wasn't initially an Alien sequel, but then it became one retroactively, and it had to contradict certain things that happened previously in the Alien movies in order for it to be considered canon? Retroactive inclusion exists. Okay, understand that. Vegeta didn't exactly. Well, there's a reason for it. Like certain man, you are good. You are good. So Vegeta not using a Super Saiyan 3 against Beerus is like a piece of evidence that I used to kind of lead towards that. Their argument was that Toriyama didn't make GT himself. Huh? Dragon Ball Super's anime wasn't made by Toriyama himself, but it's still considered a canon sequel to Z. What? What? Bro, what? That is so bad. That is terrible. I guess I guess the majority of like the moral arc and the granola arc isn't canon because Toriyama didn't make it himself. Like, I guess since Toyotaro made that, it's not canon. Like, what are y'all talking about, man? But yeah, so this thing about like Vegeta not using Super Saiyan 3 against Beerus, but we know he had it, that's a good point. Why? Because retroactive inclusion, and also there's a reason given for why these are not there. So, what is my reason for why Goku doesn't use the God forms in GT? Well, it's very simple. There's no need. Like, there's legitimately no need to. When you've already mastered Ultra Instinct at this point and can use it in any form, right? What would be the point in going into God forms, especially when the whole point of UI right now for Goku is to be able to max out the capabilities of Ultra Instinct without needing to transform? That's the whole point. Like, that's literally like his point of training right now. Like, so far he's mastered everything but how to max it out in his regular forms. Do you have any scaling disagreements with Drip Sauce? Trying to think. Drip my dog. I'm always gonna support Drip regardless. Drip always gonna be my dog, but that don't mean we're not prone to disagreements. I think not necessarily scaling, but he thinks that the hyperbolic time chamber is in that subspace that like that houses Sugadoku space, which I don't agree with that because like again, there's just no evidence leading to it. Like as a matter of fact, there's evidence leading against it. Like okay, for example, we know that when Goku is blown out of the subspace, like we quite literally see when he's blown out of the subspace, he ends up in a separate, like in a space that's next to it, right? Like for example, they just go into some random area of the universe, like upon being exploded out of Sugaroku space. But when Goku, Vegeta, when these characters blow up the hyperbolic time chamber, right? They don't go to like the same space that they went to before. No, they go to like they go back to Earth. They go back outside. So like my thing with that is like, okay, if there's a subspace housing the hyperbolic time chamber, why is it never shown? Why is it? Why isn't it ever shown? Like, especially when they're tearing through the time chamber itself as a means to get back to somewhere. Wouldn't the subspace be shown at some moments, at some instance, like that? Again, I get that's a little bit of hypocrisy because I kind of talk down on like retroactive, like not listening to retroactive inclusion, but even then, with retroactive inclusion, there's something, some proof, something that leads to this idea being canon. But like, there's nothing that leads to this being true. So like, what would be the point in talking about it, or like even taking it to mean anything? Like, it doesn't really mean much. Um, but besides that, I mean, like, I think he thinks Super's over GT, which I don't agree with that at all. But that's it. Like that's pretty much it. Yo, historic, you're talking about GT being canon and super or something. I'm good at that. I have 2 videos. Link them, link them, link them in the chat. Also, I still see NPCs on Twitter saying Buhan is equal to base Vegito. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. But Twitter isn't known for like being, housing smart people. Like if you go back and watch that fight, base Vegito is toying with him the entire time. Like bro, I'm not even about to get into that. How is GT canon? It's why would it not be? Like what? It's just not canon to like it's simply just its own continuity. It's just a part of the Toei verse. And the Toei verse is canon. It's just not canon to anything else. It's just canon to itself. Unless like you think, well, because me, I'm under the I'm under the assertion that like Xenoverse is canon, like superheroes is or like Super Dragon Ball Heroes is canon. I'm under the like assertion that these are all like canon storylines that basically house like the overall narrative of all these timelines merging together. Like again, so and that's proven as well. Like Drip made 50 videos. Not 50. Drip made a lot of videos talking about like why that would be the case. Like I would suggest you go watch those because they kind of explain it better than I can right now. Facts. Oh yeah, my bad. I got sidetracked, folks. I was supposed to be showing somebody on I was supposed to be smoking somebody pack. My fault. My fault. I wasn't even paying attention. All right. So let me show y'all what I'm talking about. If I can see it on the screen right now. So let's read this exactly because I don't want to deviate too far from the point. Let me change the presentation mode real quick. All right, here we are. So let's read this real quick because to this guy, why do I have to say this? Okay, here we go. The UI and base comparison isn't really applicable since him using UI in those forms is simply about his mindset. This is a claim that he's been trying to prove for the past 2 hours and he cannot do it. Like he cannot do it. He like point blank. He's been trying to argue this for the past 2 hours and he cannot do it. He could not prove it, right? But what was the point? So he says he has to clear his mind so his body can take over. It's not about ki. First of all, these two things are not connected, right? At all. This, like this right here, is not indicative of this. So, for example, right, whenever Whis makes the distinction that Goku has to clear his mind, it's in reference to Goku, right? It's in reference to people who actually have divine energy as a means to be able to separate themselves from their conscious thought, right? So this guy is trying to tell me, right, that it's not about ki, even though it's called the divine technique. But okay. So I said, in order for that to be done, he needs to use divine energy. Whis quite literally explains this. You aren't debunking the point. You gave another interpretation that can go hand in hand with mine. So then he says he needs divine energy to clear his mind. That's not what I said. No. What I said was, as a means for him to achieve UI, he needs divine energy as well. That's all I'm saying. Agreed. Agreed. People, I swear to God, whenever I say like a hot take or something that's like against the grain, they don't listen to my reasoning. They just simply listen to what I said and they jump in the comments and just start typing away. They don't pay attention to the point. Like, so here's what I said. God knows, simply clearing his mind is not the key to UI. It's that and the combination of divine energy, which is why when mortals like Roshi attempt to clear their mind, it's seen as nothing more than an imitation of Ultra Instinct or a similar principle. All you need to do is go back and read what we says about Roshi. Because he isn't a divine being or because he doesn't have divine energy, what he's doing is simply just an imitation. Like, it's a similar principle. It's not Ultra Instinct. Why? Because he doesn't have divine energy. Like, bro, it's not that hard to track. Like, he just doesn't understand it. He's not paying attention. Like, what? So then he says, I am. The only transformation that requires God Ki is Goku's silver form. So UI Omen doesn't require God Ki. So Omen doesn't require God Ki. Because we could talk about the anime or manga and I could just prove you wrong like immediately. Like, you know what? Let's do that. Where y'all want to start? Y'all want to start here? Let's start here. Right. That fool must be using Ultra Instinct and only gods can sense that godly chi. Next. Next. In the anime, is greater the deeper one steps into the state of the gods. Do I need to keep going? Do y'all want me to keep going? Because I could keep running it. Like we could keep showing more statements if y'all need me to. Here it is. A resemblance, still a far cry from that technique. Now, why is it? Why is that though? Because he doesn't have God Ki. He doesn't have God Ki. Facts, bro. I don't understand why people keep trying to argue and they don't know what they're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. It's okay to say that. It's okay to admit it. Like, bro, it's okay to admit it, bro. Like, hold on, let me why do you think Ultra Instinct gets better the more Goku transforms into that state? Like, why can somebody tell me why do y'all think that why do y'all think Goku when he uses Ultra Instinct in base form isn't as accurate to when he uses it in Super Saiyan forms, when he uses it in the Ultra Instinct transformation? Like why don't you think that? Like why do you think the technique gets better? Because he's tapping into divine energy the more and more he goes into the transformation. That's the whole point. It's not a headcanon. This is explained to us literally in the anime. I'll show it again. The context of this statement is Whis talking about the power, the energy. The energy is greater the deeper one state or steps into the state of the gods. Like, you know what's funny? Let's click on this thread and let's see if they get it right before he does. Like, bro, I'm trying to click on this thread. Like, I'm not even about to keep wasting my time, bro. Also, if I see one more person, uh, telling me that we or that Jiren or not Jiren, yeah, one more person telling me that Jiren, Krillin, and Roshi were able to sense Goku's ki, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. They didn't sense his ki at all. They never sensed his power. They felt the pressure that was being exuded, but they never felt the actual God ki. They felt the pressure. That's it. That is it. My bad, chat. I'm inviting bro to the stream like Fusion said. I'm gonna just do that instead because I don't feel like wasting my time. And he's still typing. Like the fact that Beerus thought it was possible for Roshi to possess the technique. What? Are you stupid? Are I'm trying not to be so insulting, bro, but it's like second nature to me, bro. Like the fact that I have to explain this, it grinds my gears. It grinds my gears. Like, yo, Beerus himself doesn't understand the technique. He can't do it. That's why he thinks Roshi can do it, because he doesn't understand the configuration. That's why Whis has to explain that it's simply just a resemblance and that he's still a far cry away from it. Oh my. Thank you. You literally see the heat and pressure. Like, what are you talking about? Thank you. This is what happens when you don't read Dragon Ball, when you don't watch Dragon Ball. You say things that you don't understand. Also, Abyss, stop going back and forth with King and Queen Lion. Stop doing that. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone, bro. And if you already left it alone, my bad. But stop going back and forth with bro. He's not gonna take his L. Just leave it. Just leave it be. Back to this. I did like my watch of GT, but I understand why it was received the way it was at the time. Because I think they received it the way it was at the time because they weren't expecting people to go like they weren't expecting the studios to go back to the original roots of Dragon Ball. They weren't expecting that whole the whole adventure arc thing, which again, if you've spent like all of your teenage years watching like bow big pow action, like of course you're gonna be expecting that right off the get go when it comes to GT, and it just never showed. But thank you. Like, what? Anyway, but yeah, like just arguing things like that. You could argue, just stuff like that. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I thought GT was great. I thought it was great as like a sequel to again, not talking about the English dub. I think the English dub is a much more enjoyable experience, but I don't think like it's a better way to digest the series. Like if you want to understand the true facts and the true knowledge of the series, watch the sub, watch the Japanese audio. Do not Do not watch the Japanese or the English dub, please. But yeah, like if you're just expecting like pow 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 big action like immediately, I think it would probably I think it would change your perception. But I kind of took it for what it was. I accepted the fact that it wasn't meant to be like Dragon Ball Z Part 2 immediately. It wasn't supposed to be that way. And the baby saga and everything like that. No, 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 no. Pause, 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 pause. Hold up. Don't, like I said, the English dub is more enjoyable. But if you want to understand the series, watch the sub. Do not watch the dub if you want to understand the series. If you want to just enjoy it, go ahead, watch the dub. It's better than the sub 100% for enjoyment purposes. But when it comes to whether, like for accuracy, do not watch the English dub because 9 times out of 10, they're rarely accurate. Like they're rarely hitting the marquee. Like in the English dub, there's an extra 10 years added. Like there's an extra 5 years added in the gap from from the end of Zeta GT. Like it's 10 years in the English dub, not 5. Stuff like that. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Buhan over Kid Buu, GT over Super. I mean, you could come up and explain it if you want. Convince me. Facts. I think the English dub is better than the sub in terms of enjoyment. Like I enjoy it, and I think it's better to digest, like to listen to. But like, facts. But yeah, like it's kind of like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, like not being in the Battle of Gods movie. Like we know for a fact that he had it, but and he even makes like implications of him having it. He just chooses not to go down that path because it does more harm than good. Facts. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I shed a tear at that GT ending. I don't care. I cried. I cried. Even Z's ending did not get me like that, but but GT's did, bro. GT's took it out of me. Took it way out of me. I couldn't even, bro. I couldn't even function for a little bit. Like just seeing Goku disappear like that, bro. That was crazy. I'm like, yo, for real? He ascended like that? And then I watched the Hero's Legacy and I was like, yo, it's even worse. It's even worse. I haven't me personally, I haven't what's the name? I haven't seen the Goku Black arc in the anime all the way through. When it came to my rewatch of Super, I stopped right when that arc started. Like I skipped the what did I do? I skipped the copy Vegeta saga. I was not watching that. I skipped the copy Vegeta saga and then I went straight into like right when Goku and Trunks fight, and then I stopped. And I haven't picked it back up since. But here's the funny part. Chat, my bad. But yeah, I picked up the manga and like I just had a better time with it. So I kept going with that. Watching Seth and Ryu's video about Kid Buu versus Buhan gave me an aneurysm. Facts, bro. Facts. Like I applaud Seth for now keeping up with like the new metas and stuff like that when it comes to debating, but he still got stuff wrong, like insanely wrong. Like it always confused me like why he was never on the Kid Buu portion, because the Kid Buu side, like the Kid Buu side is more consistent. Like everybody keeps saying the Buhan side is the more consistent side. No, it's not. No, like no, it's not. Basically, base Vegeta end of Goku Black arc is stronger than his Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan self from the beginning of the arc in the anime version. Is it because of him? Like, is it because of the fusion amp? Like, whenever they devolve or like they defuse, like they get stronger from it. I'm pretty sure that's like, yeah, it's like a thing in the anime. Which is why like Vegeta magically shoots up from being like below Gotenks to above Gotenks, like in the anime. Like, yeah. Super's writing is just really founded off of Z's writing, with the exception of Goku's character. Like Goku's character gets absolutely axed in half in Super, like in Super's anime. It's terrible. Like Goku literally, like, I'm not even talking about the immaturity thing yet. I'll get to that in a second, but just simply talking about the fact that like Goku is an idiot in terms of combat prowess, like it irritates me. Like, okay, Goku should have figured out how to beat Botamo by himself, like how he did in the manga. Like he should have figured out how to beat Botamo by himself. Like it was that simple. It's because of the time chamber training. Super Saiyan 3 or Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta went from weaker than Super Saiyan Goku Black to stronger than Super Saiyan Rose. Yeah. No, even prior to it, he was. Oh wow. In Super Saiyan God, he was weaker than base Goku Black near the beginning, and then pre-fusion Goku or then pre-fusion Blue Vegeta was above Rose Black, with Rose being a blue level amp itself. That is crazy. That is crazy. Yo. Yo, that's low key insane. That is low key insane. Please don't tell me that's real, chat. Wow. I might have to dunk on Super harder than I ever have. I will say though, watching the anime is more convenient because as of now, I'm not trying to put the anime in my scan server. I just don't feel like it's necessary right now. But right now, I'm focused on like just getting everything in the mangas all the way streamlined because I finished the Dragon Ball manga. I have everything I wanted to get out of that. Maybe I don't. I'll have to go back and do some more rereads, but I got mostly everything I needed out of that. And now for Super, I'm trying to like make everything like, consistent. My bad, chat. But yeah. I don't know, bro. That power creep is insane. That's crazy. But I will say this: a main reason why people like get this stuff about saying beyond God confused and everything like that, like it's simply just because of the fact of how like how do I explain this? Hey, peep the channel, chat. Peep the channel. Peep the channel. Peep the channel. Channel looking a little sexy. You feel me? Channel looking a little sexy. All right, let me stop. Um, do you disagree with Super Saiyan form and later form or Super Saiyan 4 and later forms like God key forms having finite multipliers? I don't. I think they do have finite multipliers. I just don't think like anybody's gonna want to put that massive amount of numbers on paper. Like, so I think they're just like trying to opt for something like more convenient. Like, I think the argument was like or like the statement said um like their powers are creeping so high, like or like something about like mathematics not being placed on it. I think that was in like the anime guide or like what's the name? I don't know what it was called, but like I don't know. I do agree with the spirit bomb having infinite power though. I think the spirit bomb has an infinite multiplier. You got disc. Yeah, it's just my name. I mean, it's fine too. I personally I haven't seen any evidence for it, but you know, I'm always open to having a change mind. Unlike some people. Do you think the Super Saiyan God ritual boost is the same as him normally transforming into God? No. I think Goku gets more God key as he progresses through the series. As he gets more like as he becomes stronger, like no. Like I think it's even confirmed that like yeah, Goku tied like the ritual power with like just having like lower levels of God key and Super Saiyan. So like yeah, like I think just regular God now, like yeah, like regular Super Saiyan God is for sure probably slamming the ritual boost, if I'm being honest. What up, X? I wish I had my headphones on me because then I'll be like reacting to videos and stuff. You get off of my cloud. I ain't gonna lie. So Jimmy Carter, the Jimmy Carter president, having no headphones in 20. No. I don't have any wired headphones. I don't have any wired headphones right now that are like gonna like. Okay, first of all, the only wired headphones I have are for my iPhone, and like the audio jack for that is, you know the deal. I don't have like any regular headphone jack headphones. Like I don't have any like regular ones. But uh, Jimmy Carter, President Jimmy Carter, he passed away today, right? I made a joke. I thought it was hilarious, right? I thought it was hilarious. But the joke was because he passed away at 100. So like he had passed away at 100 years old. So I was like, damn, he crossed the finish line and then just quit. Like he touched the finish line and just quit. That's not funny. That's not funny. Yo, that's not okay though. That's not okay. Rest in peace to Jimmy Carter, man. That's crazy. R.I.P. to Jimmy Carter. Bro, that had me dying. It's not funny though, kids. That's not funny. Jesus. That's foul. I personally don't think like disrespecting the dead is like something that's good or like commendable. I don't do nothing like that. I don't think that's cool. But I will say, like, in my opinion, I feel like there are certain rules, like there's certain jokes you can make. Like, okay. Also, Jimmy Carter was a terrible person, if we're being honest. So, like, so who cares? Like, if we're being honest, but um my whole concern was just like, as long as these people aren't good people, like, but like if you're disrespecting them, that's one thing. But if these are like lighthearted jokes, I think, yeah, like kind of like, yeah, what the business saying right here. If they're like lighthearted jokes, like I think it's cool. I think it's perfectly fine. Like I'm literally equating his death to a finish line. Like that's hilarious. That's hilarious. It's lighthearted and it's fine. I don't think like it's crazy or anything like that. Can you explain why you have Super Saiyan 4 Goku over Super Vegito? I agree, but I don't really understand the argument that well. Okay, so the statement referring to Super Vegito having like an equal multiplier to Super Saiyan 4 as a whole, that statement is just like not even in reference to like the Buu Saga version. Like that's in reference to what would happen if Goku and Vegeta were to take the Potara in GT. If they were to use the Potara in GT, they would have a similar multiplier to Super Saiyan 4, right? So that's the whole point about that. But when it comes to Super Saiyan 4, Goku being stronger than Super Vegito, it's pretty simple. Base Goku, like, like off the get-go, base GT Goku, like as a kid, right? Like he already has power superseding that of like any and every. First of all, keep it to this like this, right? GT Goku is confirmed to be stronger than End of Z Goku. So Genki, take everything I said before, throw it out the window. Listen to what I'm saying right now. End of Z Goku is confirmed strong, or is confirmed the strongest character that Toriyama ever created. That is including Vegito. Okay, so End of Z Goku would be stronger than Super Vegito in the Buu Saga. All right, GT Goku, even as a kid, is stronger than End of Z Goku. Right. So all in all, combine that with a Super Saiyan 4 multiplier, right, which is pretty much a fusion multiplier in and of itself, as confirmed by the Perfect Files. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is miles ahead of Super Vegeta, like in the Buu Saga, like by a long shot. Like if I'm talking like Super Vegeta's a 1, Super Saiyan 4 Goku's like a 10, 11, 12. Like that's how high it is. Like, but in terms of like the overall multipliers, they're kind of comparable if we're being, you know. But that's it. That's all it is. It's just like, there you go. I'm gonna leave it to a certain man to always like streamline my points for me. Thank you. Yeah, a certain man is always certain about something. No, let me stop. But yeah, just like this. So um Is there anything else I want to really cover? Oh yeah. Since I'm creeping up on 2,000 subs, I thought the best thing for me right now would be to fulfill my monetization thing. So I'm going to do that with my mom. Like, and yes, I'm 18, still doing things related to money with my mother. Yes, because I trust her more than anybody else on the planet. Like I'm gonna like first of all, I just turned 18. That's the first thing. Second thing, um, I feel like that's like my greatest teacher. So I'm always gonna learn from my mom first before anything. Because if I mess something up, and I gotta owe the IRS on, guaranteed they're gonna have to catch me. They're gonna have to catch me, bro. For real. But on and all, I'm gonna be filling out that monetization thing pretty soon. So your boy gonna be monetized, hopefully, really soon. Um but as far as that though, if you can see in like the description of this stream and in the previous video, um basically I'm starting this new thing on my channel where I do cash app battles. It's not crazy. Again, this is not an obligation. It's not mandatory. It's not any of that. I am not entitled to anything you give me. None of it. However, if you do want to, pay for a service, it's there for you to do. Now, again, I'm not saying you have to do this. Like, I know so many YouTubers that be like trying to make it seem like you have to pay for their time. That is so corny to me. I find that like unbelievably strange because these people are who made you, bro. Like, without them, you're nothing. You're nothing. If these people don't take a chance on you and take time out of their day to sit down and watch a YouTube video that you spent time creating, what's the point? Like, they're not. Those are your foundation. That's your community. You need them. You need them. You need them more than they need you. That's the funny part. You need your community more than they need you. And that's the cold hard truth about it. Like, I know King and Queen Lion, and I know I said his name before on the stream, but he's one of those people that I just like. He's so entitled, and like I don't like people like that. I don't like people who feel like they're entitled or they're owed everything. Like, and some people may say that about me, but like my whole thing about that is like, prove it. Why? Because what about that? What about anything about me tells you that I feel entitled to something? Like, why? Because I'm asking for it? Like, no, I think that's just because I feel like I'd rather take a chance than like, miss everything. All in all, though, like I said, I will never be that guy that's sitting over there begging for every single person in the world to pay for my time, please, please. I'm a man of importance. I'm a man of importance, and I need to have somebody pay for my time. No, you're never gonna catch me doing that ever. But again, onto this. I think I put the details. Facts. I'm just keeping it a stack, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot of entitled people in there. But Drip is the most down to earth person I've ever like talked to. Like, we've had like little conversations here and there. Like, he's straight to the point, straight on it, like right on it. Like, we don't sugarcoat anything. So like I that's cool. I really rock with Drip for that. But it's a lot of people that really feel like there's somebody in there, and it's just like, bro, we're random kids making YouTube videos talk about Dragon Ball. Like, we're not important people. we're just people. You know who Steezy is? No. Enlighten me though. I might have seen his name actually. I might have seen his name around, but I think I put the rules and like criteria for the Cash App battles in like my community post. I think, I don't know. Did I? Let me see. Who is this sexy beast on the screen right here, huh? Who was that? Who was it on? Let me stop. Let me stop. All right, so yeah, a week ago I did this. Like, he's the GT is canon guy and the student of Clorox, big ego. Shoot. Also, can y'all like stop with this whole debate teacher and student thing? That is some of the most like. I hope you don't go into the real world like saying stuff like that or moving under that like that, because that is insane. Could you imagine walking up to a girl talking about, I'm the student of Clorox? What? What? Like, bro. But yeah, that whole debate teacher student thing is just cringy to me. Like, cringy. But yeah, so I put the criteria in here. By the way, new video on the way. Definitely. Hey, I'm a cook with this video. I promise y'all that. I'm a I'm a I'm a cook, bro. All right. By the way, take a guess as to what this is. What is the topic of this video? By the way, that thumbnail's sexy. Anyway, that's not the point. Uh, Go ahead and tell me what you think the video is going to be. Tell me the topic of the video. Guess it right now in the comments. Let me know. He takes the whole Discord debate ranking hierarchy very seriously. Yeah, he for sure don't get no hoes. Guaranteed. He for sure. Hey, y'all getting it? Y'all getting it? Y'all getting it? Like if we don't meet his standards, we won't receive any amps of his knowledge, bro. It's not that serious. It is not that serious. Like, bro, it's not that deep at all. And this goes for anybody that's really out there, like really trying to make a hierarchy out there. Like that's the main reason why I stay away from like even like the subcom. Like, what's the name? Like, okay, I got a boy, I got a friend. His name is Chrome, right? Chrome, me and Chrome cool for like about a couple months. I think close to a year now. No, it's been a couple months. It's been a couple months. And in those couple of months, me and him are really like we're not tight, but we're cool, right? Here's my issue with the comm he's in though. He's not really in the debate comm anymore, like the main comm. He's in like this kind of underground type comm though. Like we're like people kind of ran away from the main comm and did their own like little hideout refugee type thing, like that part of the comm, right? These people really think like these hierarchies matter, and these are like, bro, I see people making like debate tier lists, the debaters tier lists all day, every day. And I'm just like, okay, I get it's all in good fun. But then when I see people actually taking it serious, like you're a tier 5, you're tier 4, like, are you for real? Like, are y'all serious? Like, this isn't a joke. Y'all ain't punking nobody. Like that's for real. Like, all the way, by the way, to anybody that said Hakai, you're right. You're right. If anybody guessed Goku's ability to use the Hakai, you are correct. We will be talking about that next video. I also don't want to make Goku versus Superman until a little bit. I still saw Chrome hanging out with Juju. Yeah, Juju, my boy. When I was still in the comm, Chrome is chill, but Juju is some man. Juju is chill 9 times out of 10, but when he gets into debates, like he has like that issue where like he can't remain chill. Like as the debate progresses, he starts to become more and more like aggressive and a little unhinged, if I'm being honest. Like I think Goku used Sakai in the moral arc. No, he didn't. He used like the dusting thing. Again, well, I don't want to give away too much because like that's all for the video, but basically what like I'm assuming like when Moro was pressed under that entire rock and like Goku shredded that mountain, like he dusted the mountain and it turned into like rubble. Yeah, that's not Hakai. And that's not what I'm talking about either. There was no retcon, there was no any of that. Goku just simply disintegrated the rock. That's all it was. The same way Vegeta did in chapter like 69, I think. But what Goku did in chapter 20, was it 24? And 24 of Super and what Goku did in the moral fight are not the same. What Goku did in chapter 24 of Super to Zamasu and what Goku did and what Vegeta did in chapter 69 are not the same. Like, however, what Beerus did to Zamasu, what Belmont did to that handmaiden, they're all the same as what Goku did to Zamasu. So again, that consistency highlights that Goku can use the Hakai. It's just like, it's a lot. I don't want to get into too much because of the video, but y'all see my point. It's funny too because their tier system for the comms gets contradictory. I beaten Drip Sauce on GT being canon to Dragon Ball Super, but I can't defeat him on formal logic. Facts. Like it depends on certain things. Exactly. Depends on the topic, the knowledge of the topic, like things of that nature. Like, bro, for sure, 100%. I think, bro, I think he fought somebody in real life over Discord beef. Like, he was genuinely, I think he genuinely fought somebody in real life over Discord beef. I don't know if that was true or not. It was just something I heard. But yeah, back to the topic at hand. I've been losing my train of thought for the longest time. So here is the whole ordeal regarding the Cash App battles and stuff. So here you go. I'll put it there. So as for this, if you want a YouTube Shorts, just there it is. Send a topic of your choosing in the note section of the Cash App thing. When it comes to 5, if you want a full video, it may go up depending on if you want it to be like, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Like, bro, come on. Like, that's a little crazy, especially if the topic like can be covered in 5 minutes. like if the topic can be covered in 5 minutes, bro, I'm not gonna stretch it. I'm gonna stretch it to 10 minutes, but I'm gonna be talking about a lot of extra information. So like that's gonna have to cover. But then yeah, like you choose the topic and everything like that, and the week or the deadline in order for the video to be completed is a week. So if it's a YouTube Shorts, I probably say like 2 days, 3 days, because it doesn't take that long to do those. But for actual videos, I say a week. Give me a week, I'll come back. Sometimes it'll be even shorter than that. But yeah, if I feel like it's gonna take longer than a week to cover, I'll ask for an extension. And if I can't get that from you, I'll just send your money back. Because I feel like that'd just be better and something smarter to do. I don't want to take anything from anybody. But yeah, that's about it. As for the topics though, yeah, keep these to about these topics right here. Don't ask me anything about like comics or anything like that, because I'm not too versed on it. Please don't ask me anything about like One Piece or like or Bleach. I'm not versed on that either. Like, if you want to subscribe to the service, just like keep it to these topics, and I guarantee you a video will be out quickly, fast, and in a hurry. But yeah, that's it. Enough of that shit. Can we move on now, please? Thank you. Are you open to reacting to videos on stream? Yeah, absolutely. I will be going in about 15 minutes though, so let's hope that we can keep them short, please. Also, I find YouTube Shorts to be very fun to make. I think they're extremely fun to make sometimes. If anybody send me like a Discord request, or anything like that, I'm not opening my Discord right now. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me open my Discord now. Let me just see. I cannot show this. I cannot show this name on screen. I cannot show this name on stream. I cannot show this name on stream. Yo, that is crazy. That is wild. Sure, bring him to the screen, Zeta. Yeah, Zeta, just bring him to the stream then. I don't really feel like joining no Discord chats right now. Just send him the link. You're 45? If Jay, if you're 45, send the videos. Which fusion do you think could pass the SAT? Probably Vegeto's. Probably Vegeto's. I think Vegito could probably do it. Because in all honesty, like in terms of like book smarts, I probably got Vegeta over Vegeta. Wait, what? My bad. In terms of like intelligence and like book smarts, I have Vegeta over Goku. Jesus Christ. I don't know what I just said. I wasn't gonna bring you up because your camera was on. I wasn't gonna bring you up because your camera was on. I know if you knew or not. You don't think Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta could pass? I mean, maybe. And isn't the usual the usual time limit for an SAT like an hour or two? So like, wouldn't Gogeta just be gone after that? Like, wouldn't he just be gone after like halfway through the test? Like, he'd just be gone halfway through the test. Hold on. All right. Um. All right. All right, chat. So this video was done by the homie Zeta. This is talking about Super being canon to GT. So again, I'm under the impression that this happens. Wait, actually, I think Have I seen this video before? Maybe parts of it. Maybe I have, because when I clicked on the link, I like immediately went to 2 minutes and 20 seconds, like 2 minutes or something. Or like unless either that or he sent me the link with a specific timestamp attached to it, like embedded in it, which kind of is how it works in YouTube sometimes. Like if you like take a link directly like off of the video, or like not off of the search engine or like the search bar, but if you like just go here, like it'll take the timestamp with it. You feel me? So anyway, I think I might have seen bits and pieces here. Ignore the drip sauce filter. All right, for sure. All right, let me grab something real quick.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Zeta.
All right, let me know. Check. Can y'all hear the video?
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Zeta, and today I'm gonna be covering a common.
Oh yeah, this for sure the drip sauce. This is for sure the drip sauce voice changer. This for sure the bro. All right. Y'all hear it? Y'all good? All right, let's log back in.
Misconception, and that common misconception is that GT is not canon, and this is false. So I'm gonna explain how Dragon Ball GT is canon, and specifically canon to the main continuity. So no, it is not some alternate timeline like people think it is, which is not true.
Oh wait. So you think it's canon to the main continuity? Okay. All right. Hey, I'm gonna be on stream until this video finished. So, that chat saying speed it up. All right, for sure. Let's do the T-Bang streaming and put it at 2 times speed.
And they've been saying this for years. GT is.
Yeah, no. That's too fast. I don't need to y'all keep up with that. Let's do 1.45.
Being canon, and Super is canon, and Diamond is canon. They're all canon. So I'm gonna go address this in this video. So in 2017, the people who licensed Dragon Ball created a timeline that shows the events from the start of Dragon Ball to the end of GT, including the events of Super. So yes, Super is part of the timeline as well as GT. Now, before anyone says it's only showing where the timelines take place and not that they're actually,
that argument is terrible, and it also doesn't defeat the point, but
connected. This is false because the timeline board only says timeline and not timelines in plural.
Yeah, I have seen this. I have seen parts of it. I seen up to like 2 minutes, and then I had to go do something. So Zed, I have seen this video.
There's no evidence to prove that the timeline is referring to multiple timelines and that it's only referring to one singular chronology. So GT can't be in another timeline. Not only is this timeline blatant proof that GT is canon to Dragon Ball Super, but
which was done by Shueisha, not Toei. That timeline was done by Shueisha, who runs the manga. They are the rights holders for the manga of Dragon Ball. So again, if that is like, and that's the Shueisha timeline. So if GT is included in that, I don't know how you could argue with that, bro.
There's actually even more supporting evidence to prove that this is the case. Toyotaro officially states that Dragon Ball Super is in fact building up to the original Dragon Ball Z ending. This would include GT, as GT is the official sequel to the end of Z, as shown in the episode preview of the end of Z, and the screenwriter Takeo Koyama confirming that GT is in fact the official sequel. Now, there are some people who think that
Run that back, because we need to see that again. Run that back. First of all, you pulled this, fire. This is an elite pull. This is an elite pull. Oh, no. Yeah, I understand that, but it was actually put together by Shueisha. My bad. It includes everything. Like, it's I understand that part, but like, Shueisha put it together, like the timeline itself on the screen.
Shown in the episode preview of the end of Z.
No.
Takeo Koyama confirming that GT is in fact the official sequel.
Hold up, chat. And we ain't having no random stream cutouts no more. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. Let me hurry up before this actually do turn off. All right. Saved. All right. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt the vid, Zeta. All right, we back. Let's keep watching this masterpiece.
Now, there are some people who think that Dragon Ball Super contradicts or retcons the ending of Z because of the statement that Bulma made about not seeing Goku in 5 years. However,
which proves nothing. It doesn't debunk anything. Like, it doesn't retcon anything at all. Like, at all. Because it's never alluded to that Bulma goes to Goku. It's alluded to that Goku goes to Bulma, right? Like, the last time that Goku visited Bulma, which means that the last time that Goku himself went to go see Bulma was 5 years ago. That defeats nothing about the point, like, at all.
However, this is false, as it would only be a retcon of them not seeing each other, which Super does retcon. It's like pretty obvious, but it doesn't retcon the actual ending. Super builds up to the ending by making Oob incredibly powerful as part of the story. He's literally the reason that Goku was able to beat Moro. So this is not true at all. It's only just a retcon to this Bulma statement. It's not really a retcon to the actual ending. There is
reading the chat real quick. By the way, people try to use the Koyama opinion as a debunk when even the word official isn't an opinion-based word. Here's the funny part about Koyama saying, like, it's just his opinion. First of all, something being an opinion doesn't debunk it from having any kind of like consistency or having any kind of like likelihood. That's the first thing. Secondly, matter of fact, Zeta, I'm gonna bring you up here, bro. This is your video. This is your video, bro. You're gonna have to
come on. My goodness. I'm so excited to finally be on the historic live stream.
But low key though, the word official is not an opinion-based word. That's so retarded. He's literally admitting it as a fact in the statement.
Thank you. Koyama also can't make continuity decisions, so he would logically be coming from a higher power. I mean, you can, again, nothing wrong with that.
Also, another timeline shown in the Chosenchu, which is the official Dragon Ball encyclopedia, being the sequel to the Daizenshuu. Toriyama actually admits that the Daizenshuu staff are more reliable than him due to his memory loss and memory issues when writing the series. Toriyama himself even states that if the Daizenshuu came out a lot earlier, that it would have used incredibly helpful for him to write the manga. So Toriyama actually views the people who make these guides as very reliable people of the Dragon Ball IP. And no, the Chosenchu does not cover information about the events of other timelines. The timeline guide is only in reference to one universe, so that argument does not work for the Chosenchu. Toriyama had an interview about the
also something being addressed. Wait, my bad, Zeta. Something being addressed as chronological. Do y'all understand what chronological means? Okay, chronological already defeats the idea of this being separate timelines. In order for something to be chronological, it has to happen one after the other in a sequence, right? I don't know how else to explain it besides that. If I'm missing
in a
anything,
singular line,
It's literally just one line of detailing from here, from one.
No, because they try to say that the chronological table applies to the entire Dragon Ball cosmology on like a universal level, but that would be disregarding like all the other infinite timelines as canon by that stupid retarded logic.
Come on, there you go. See, listen to Zeta, chat. he gonna show y'all the way. I mean, I am too, but like, let's hit video, bro. Would you choose to live in the Dragon Ball universe or the Naruto universe as a regular human who could be killed easily by their villains? Which heroes would you depend on to protect you? Man, if you don't get this TikTok question up out of here, or no, let me stop. I'm joking.
Now there's a Yeet audio playing in the back of the statement, and it's a Twitter post.
Did you say a Yeet audio?
Yeah, there's a Yeet audio playing in the back of this question.
All you hear is Split just playing in the background when the question come up on screen. Okay. Would you choose to live in the Dragon Ball universe? Or the
No, and it's coming from a Twitter post. It's not even from TikTok.
Oh. That makes it worse. A little bit worse. I can't even hold you. That's low-key what them TikTok posts be, though. It's just like a screenshot of a Twitter post, and then it'd be like a Yeet song in the back.
Oh, yeah, by the way, did you know that there's a way to instantly debunk Kid Buu only being galaxy level?
The fact that a galaxy scales to a universe in Dragon Ball?
Well, no, it's because when Gotenks was warping reality, we literally see a galaxy far away.
Oh. Send that to my Discord. I'm gonna use that for a video in the future. We're gonna run some
Yes, bro, it's so funny. And by the way, they're not talking about the galaxies. They're like when Kid Buu destroyed a galaxy, it was just a galaxy. Quadrant, it wasn't like a quadrant.
So it's not the quadrant, it's just an actual galaxy.
It's an actual galaxy, yeah. But the quadrants are just the divisions.
So he's not targeting the quadrants.
No, but it's still galaxy level, no doubt. They can easily create galaxies by fucking existing.
Well, and then obviously, I think like first of all, the Dragon Ball Galaxy quadrants, they're
like this is consistent too, because Top literally created a universe inside of the World of Void, which is nothing.
Mm-hmm. So then it's like it's that, and then like right. So I'm trying to think. Okay, so the 4 quadrants that sum up North, West, East, and South Galaxy, right? They're all infinite. Okay.
Yeah, they're all infinite. Yeah, infinite divided by 4 is still infinity.
That would immediately, unless there's some other evidence that leads to like a debunk, which I haven't gotten yet. That's a uni plus feat off the rip. If you're able to destroy the entirety or significantly affect that quadrant, that's a uni plus feat off the get-go, right? But I didn't know that Kid Buu was just solely targeting like singular galaxies. I thought he was targeting like quadrants. Like
no. Because when we see the planets getting destroyed, there's also a galaxy we can see far away, and I highly doubt that it would be the quadrant right there, because we can still see that in the present timeline, all of the 4 galaxies still exist, and there's nothing that suggests that the Kais rebuilt the galaxy.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. That's fairly fine. Okay, cool. So
yeah, no doubt, Kid Buu's out of reversal. That's not even funny.
All right, let's get back into the video.
Nature of the Dragon Ball story. And in this interview, Toriyama acknowledges that GT already covers the events of the future, so he'd have to write a story in the past in order to make more Dragon Ball content. So if GT truly wasn't canon, then Toriyama would not be acknowledging that it already covers the future, because if it never really happened, then there would be no point in Toriyama acknowledging this as a factor for his series.
Yo, that's an argument I've never seen before in my life. I've never heard anybody say that before.
Yeah, they're all real. All the scans are real.
Oh no, I know. I'm not even doubting.
Yo, so what just happened?
I just never. I again, but yeah, it's not even that. I just think like I like your way of like going about the argument, because these are like really niche, and like you would have to pay attention minutely to this. Like, so like I definitely do agree with that argument, and I haven't heard anybody else cover it like that.
Here's another statement of GT being connected to the events of Battle of Gods, as Battle of Gods is placed in between after the Buu saga and before the events of GT. There's an official history comic including the events of GT as part of Goku's mainline history. Now, I've never seen that before, but some people think that GT has to have a manga in order for it to be canon.
What?
Well, this isn't exactly true, because Dragon Ball Super had an anime before its manga release, but that's not the point.
I'm not gonna correct that, because it's very. It doesn't really matter too much of
It's
the
so
overall.
retarded, but I had to put it in there.
Because like, I'm not gonna hold you. The manga came first. The only thing was the anime was produced quicker than the manga. So like when the manga took hiatuses, the anime kept going. So that's why the anime got ahead of its manga.
Okay.
It wasn't released first. It got ahead first, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because like if you look, I'm not even trying to like talk down. I'm just saying like if you what's the name? I think they say like oh, you were about to answer my question, but you got distracted. My bad. Yeah, I'm taking the Naruto verse. I'm not gonna hold you. If bro, you have more of a chance of getting blown to smithereens on a casual Tuesday in the Dragon Ball verse than you do with Naruto. I'm being honest, like, bro, like,
aren't there a bunch of 5-year time skips before the villain comes back?
like, dude, I'm just like that's kind of scary, bro. Like, that's kind of odd. And then you got to be dead for a year until you could come back. Like, that's a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I'm not doing that because somebody would have had to have used the Dragon Balls knowing they greedy self. But yeah, that's what I was saying before. Super's anime came out, I think in like July 2015. And like the manga or the manga came out like June 20th of 2015. Somebody fact check me on
Okay,
that.
so they came like around this. Yeah, I've been seeing some issues with that, so I was a little bit misunderstood by this.
Somebody fact check me just in case I'm not getting something wrong.
But like the movies exist, like the Battle of Gods Resurrection, if they were
Mhm.
before the manga.
I think those are canon to GT handedly.
No doubt they are. No, because Xenoverse was literally saying, Golden Frieza knows
There you
that
go.
blue was a thing
There
for
you go.
GT Goku.
There you go. There, I was gonna say it first, but there you got it. Hit it right on the head.
Oh, did you know that Akira Toriyama made a timeline, like for the main series? It was called the Ultimate Mission Timeline, and it includes GT.
In Xenoverse?
No, it's the Ultimate Mission Timeline, or like, how do I say this? It's like the official Dragon Ball timeline, and Toriyama made it, and it was used as a template for Ultimate Mission.
Hey, send that to my Discord too, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
We have a whole server about it, actually. We'll just send you the server.
Hey, much love, bro. Appreciate
It's
it.
just it's a whole gigantic scan server. Yeah, but I know, shit. I know that little boy Steezy is gonna get mad at me because I'm sending you scans.
It ain't that deep, honestly.
He's
There should be
Steezy
no
cute.
reason why he's sitting there crying like that about this. Come on, bro. It's a serious.
Nah,
bro.
because he's actually known as a gatekeeper. Because if I start saying stuff about end of GT Goku 100 years actually being the god of the series, and he overlooks the entire Dragon Ball cosmology, he would try to shut me up.
That's a gatekeeper for real.
No, like there's literally a guidebook statement that says Goku was on a higher state of existence.
I've seen that before. Also, that is a good point about why Goku can't use the god forms. I'm looking at it now. I'm not sharing the tab on screen. You can't see it, but that is a good argument.
No, and by the way, Dragon Ball Daima debunked that forms decide the canon, which they don't.
Oh, the Super Saiyan 3 Vegito thing or Vegeta?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Forms don't matter. If they try to fight the villain, no matter what form, like it's not an obligation. That's called a Nirvana fallacy.
Facts. Yeah. But when I said, first of all, okay, so Zeta, I was on this like all the way back, and like I think I did this a year ago, where I made a video where I was debunking somebody by the name of Kosu-sama, right? And
I mean, a little baguette surf bone, right?
Yo, chill.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait. Oh no, I forgot. I forgot that everything I go to has a terms of service, because I remember if I called someone a RET word in TikTok live, they were scared as hell that they were gonna get removed.
Bro, everybody be like tripping off that, but I feel like YouTube be like dummy strict on it. So like I try to like stay away from that as much as possible. Like I be getting away with saying the N-word, and that's it. Like that's the most they'll let me skip by with.
Yeah, it's low-key insane. But there's also a scan. In the Super Saiyan 4 category of the server, there's a scan that says that Super Saiyan 4 is the strongest form in the Dragon Ball series, and the Dragon Ball series includes other timelines. So if you think GT is separate, that does not debunk anything.
I see it.
Like, and also the Super Saiyan 4 is the Super Saiyan 4 is unlocked when Goku goes to his zenith, which is the highest point or peak of something.
Here's the ultimate mission timeline. Hey, shout out Jay. Jay just sent me the ultimate mission timeline. Oh, here it is. I kept seeing this picture, but I didn't know what this was from. Like, I didn't know this was from there.
Yeah, that's why the Dragon Ball Wiki was using it, because it's the template that Akira made himself.
And we still arguing about GT being canon in 2024?
No,
like,
I'm literally not even joking. And like, bro, they still use that take place bullshit that I keep seeing over and over again.
I'm about to make so much. I swear to God, I'm about to make so many videos. Yo, hey, this man Loki just fueled me up for like 2 weeks worth of videos. Like, I'm about to talk about so much.
Oh, by the way, you know, I know people have tried to use the whole MUI Super Saiyan 4 fight to prove that MUI is stronger than Super Saiyan 4, but they're forgetting that that's the Super Saiyan 4 from the Xeno timeline, which is a different transformation entirely.
Yeah, I think that's like configured from like. Wait, isn't that just made from like somebody's like somebody's memories or something like that?
Yeah, Xeno Goku is like the strongest warrior in Xeno Trunks' memory.
So yeah, and then like the Supreme Kai of Time just materialized them and like just made him appear right here. Like
Kind of, yeah, but technically that's Super Saiyan 4. I've seen arguments about heroes being canon to the main continuity, and if you want to argue that, then the main continuity Super Saiyan 4 is stronger than the Xeno one.
Agreed. I don't think superhero is like main continuity canon. I think it serves as like a canon chapter.
Mixed, because there's other scans that talk about the movies being different timelines, and I have it too. Because people think there are different timelines because it doesn't fit. That's not the argument, because there's actually a bunch of guidebook statements, like one of them is from the movie pamphlet, that say that the movie timelines are actually like what ifs, and they explain the origins of things that were never explained, which means anything from the movie timeline could upscale the main continuity. Oh, yeah, by the way, the first Cooler movie talks about the universe being infinite, by the way.
I mean, that's a given. That's a given. That's a given. But all right, let's get back into it then.
GT actually has a manga, so you can't use the argument that GT.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some grace with that one. I'm gonna give you some grace with this.
He doesn't have a manga, therefore it's not canon. But Zeta, it's an anime comic. It's still a manga by definition.
There you go.
So you kind of just have to cope and accept that. But even then, some things in Dragon Ball don't have to have a manga in order to be canon. Daima is blatant proof of this, as well as filler and many other things that are part of the anime of Dragon Ball.
Agreed.
There's also a common misconception that Dragon Ball GT was just made to be a cash grab to make money off of the Dragon Ball franchise, but this is not true at all. And in fact, the real reason Dragon Ball GT was actually conceptualized was because people were not satisfied with the ending, including the staff team that were working on the show, which is why they went over to Shonen Jump and interviewed Toriyama about the concept of making a new series. There's this common false argument that fans try to make where they basically argue that Toriyama
was caught writing plot points for GT.
So therefore,
this is gonna.
No, it's not in the video, but we found a scan that was so great, and that I had to. We might make a part 2.
Hold up. You got it on hand right now?
It's not on the video, but it's in the server. Hold on. It's in the production category.
Here's the scans of the movie the movies telling canon events from the main continuity or just what ifs. As a fan, you're bound to enjoy it. They're original stories that aren't within the main story. Though the movies are original stories, they aren't disconnected from the main story. Wait. Okay, that was confusing. That was confusing. The movies reveal parts of the stories of what could have been and the origins of things that were never explained. Okay. So like the legendary Super Saiyan and things of that nature, understandable.
Yeah, that means the legendary Super Saiyan and shit like that actually exists. And by the way, that Broly was just a Broly from that timeline, and the Broly from the present timeline is the respective Broly that's different from the other ones.
Okay. Despite Akira Toriyama wanting to stay completely away from Dragon Ball to focus on his new projects, which nobody paid attention to, I'm sorry, Toriyama, my bad. The idea of creating a sequel that would break away from the patterns of Dragon Ball Z intrigued him enough to accept collaboration. I wish the fans thought that way because, man, they cried for nothing. I thought those arcs were perfectly fine for what it was. His work primarily focused on creating a preliminary character designs and supervising their final execution, which means he oversaw the plot points, by the way, chat. Like, he has to approve that finally in order for them to get to the ending of the series. In this way, Master Toriyama presented a series of sketches with significant changes to some of the characters. Furthermore, he also contributed by promoting the series, creating 2 Dragon Ball GT posters that would later be included as gifts in the early 1996 editions of Shonen Jump. Otherwise, busy as he was with short stories and various collaborations throughout the series, Toriyama only intervened to approve the series villains and provide occasional input in constructing the story. Wow. Wow.
They're lying to you. They're lying to you. They lied. They all lied.
Wow. I've not even Geekdom could convince me of that. Like,
Geekdom lied to you. They all lied to you, bro.
Multiple times. I feel like I got told Santa Claus wasn't real for the first time. Yo, this ain't okay, bro.
This shit is literally Dragon Ball Santa Claus. That's what GT is.
Like, bro, what? Yo. I better not see one more person tell me this ain't canon. I swear, they about to feel my wrath. We about to go dumb. All right, back into the video, chat. This is crazy.
False, and I'm going to explain why. And it's gotten so bad to the point where people don't think that Toriyama was involved in GT at all.
That's a lie. I knew that from the jump.
Character designs of the GT characters, as well as creating the world of GT.
Oh, we have a statement that talks about Toriyama blatantly talking to someone. Watch this.
In the series. What's insane is that Toriyama was the one who was responsible for naming the show Dragon Ball GT in the first place. He even explains that GT means Grand Tour, which is how we know the name. The only reason Toriyama didn't write GT was because he admits that he was way too unmotivated and tired.
He didn't primarily write GT.
He left it up to the anime staff. He actually then admires their work, saying that they're excellent and that he's basically happy that they pretty much did his work for him.
I've seen this.
You gotta respect Toriyama in this situation here because he actually highly respects the anime staff. While he himself has already done enough work for the series, making over hundreds upon hundreds of chapters, he's basically a perfect fit for retirement. He's made over like 300 chapters of the Dragon Ball story. It would only be logical where if the series wanted the series to continue, Toriyama, would give the series control over to someone else, someone that he truly respects and knows that they can take good care of the story. After all, Toriyama actually loved GT after its release, so it was a very good choice that Toriyama did because it brought a perfect conclusion to the show, in my personal opinion. I don't know if Toriyama liked the conclusion, but he likely did. Anyway, Toriyama is literally credited as the author in the GT show if you actually watch it.
I wonder why.
Toriyama giving advice to the anime staff. So that implies that Toriyama probably wrote
go back.
Toriyama giving it
something. I checked the story that Toei Pictures has created. Oh yeah, I knew this.
Yeah, he's giving advice. I wonder why.
He's
also approving all the villains too. So Baby and Omega Shenron, they were all done by Toriyama.
I wonder why they were so good.
Advice to the anime staff. So that implies that Toriyama probably wrote plot points for the series. We don't know exactly which ones, but we know that Toriyama
we're gonna make a part 2,
involved, which is why the
GT
at this point is kind of the way it is because they definitely documented advice from Toriyama and put it onto the show. Toriyama actually admired GT so much he literally wanted to continue the story of Dragon Ball.
I wonder why.
Way too unmotivated, like I said before in my previous statement about Toriyama's involvement. The whole argument of Toriyama has to write the story in order for it to be canon kind of doesn't make sense in of itself because a story can have multiple writers. Marvel Comics is notorious for this.
I was just about to say that. You could even
Dragon Ball fans, after you tell them what a Star Wars prequel is, they will shut the fuck up immediately.
Man, put it to you like this, right? So, okay. This is like a random comparison, but God of War is a prime example for this. Okay. Now remember, the person that wrote the first 2 games is not the same person that wrote Ascension, that wrote the 3rd game, that wrote the 4th or the 5th. They didn't write the Valhalla DC or DLC, but that's still canon to the series, right?
Retard Shin, guys, Supreme Kai. I can't say that word on here.
Like, this is insane. This is hilarious. All right, let's keep it going, man.
And they have multiple different stories that are written by multiple different writers, but all these stories are part of that character's canon. Why can't that apply to Goku or any character from Dragon Ball? Which, kind of doesn't make sense considering that Toriyama let these people write the show for GT and and he was literally happy that they did the work for him. So Spider-Man has so many famous scenes, and some of these scenes aren't even written by Stan Lee. They're not even part of Stan Lee's vision. What's even funnier is that there are things in Dragon Ball Z.
Vision.
Hold on, wait, go back.
So many famous scenes, and some of these scenes aren't even written by Stan Lee. They're not even part of Stan Lee's vision. What's even funnier is that there are things in Dragon Ball Z that weren't part of Toriyama's vision. Android 17 and 18 weren't part of Toriyama's vision as the main villains. It was meant to be people like Dr. Gero, but Toriyama's editor had made decisions that weren't originally part of Toriyama's vision. Does that mean those decisions aren't canon anymore because it wasn't part of Toriyama's vision? There are plenty of things that aren't written by Toriyama's vision. In fact, Dragon Ball Z already has more than one writer. Does that mean that's invalid now? No. What I'm trying to say is that this argument just doesn't work at all, with that Toriyama has to be the one in order to write it, in order for it to be canon. A story can have multiple writers. It doesn't have to be the main one in order for it to be canon. It just has to be approved by the main writer, which is what happened to GT and Toriyama's editor, and every example of a separate writer that wasn't Toriyama. Now that I've debunked the main argument, I'll be debunking some smaller
debunks.
Like,
oh, you're gonna love this.
Horrendous, and I'm just gonna throw them out the window. And I'll be debunking them, like each one of them one by one, and they are all like miserable, horrendous, and watch me embarrass these like trash ass arguments.
Can't wait.
So the first argument is that Toriyama called GT a side story, so it's
before you say anything, I'm going to give my example. Like I mentioned before, God of War Ascension is quoted to be a side story to God of War 2, or just God of War in general. That's still a canon chapter of Kratos' story, and it's pretty much mentioned by Kratos in literally God of War 4. Like is it 4? Is it 4 or 5? Where like he's explaining like Deimos' story. I don't know. Maybe you're not versed on God of War, but like when he explains,
I mean, I played the game, but I haven't remembered a lot since I last played it.
He explains Deimos' story to Mimir. There you go. He talks to Mimir about Deimos, right? And like Deimos is only canon or like really shown in Ascension. Like, so again, these like it can be a side story that doesn't make it non-canon. Like
exactly, a side story doesn't have to inherently mean it's an alternate continuity.
There you go. It just indicates something that could be happening at the same time before the events of the previous story. Like it's just something that's happening on the side a little bit while these are being productively made. Like it's not that deep.
It's not canon, and this argument is very easy to debunk. But before I get into the debunk, some of my viewers who might be watching this video may be new to debate logic. So I'm going to tell you this right now. A lot of these arguments contain a lot of fallacies, which are false arguments by definition. And I'll be explaining how all these arguments are false and what fallacies they fall under. So now that we have that out of the way, I'm going to go over to this debunk real quick. A side story isn't really a deviation from another story's timeline. Subplots aren't inherently derivative of another story's timeline. So likewise, just because GT is labeled as a side story doesn't mean it's a deviation from the main timeline of Dragon Ball. It simply means that it's a story that isn't about the events of Super while still being within the same timeline. The show GT is quite literally about ending Goku's story. It's not about a sequel to Dragon Ball Super. Although it is a sequel to Dragon Ball Super, it's not necessarily about Dragon Ball Super. It's about ending Goku's story. And besides, the show only has like 64 episodes, which is why it would kind of contextually make sense that it's a side story, considering its small size compared to OG Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z in like episode numbers. Now, this argument would kind of be jumping to conclusions because the argument is basically predictating that side story has to mean a separate timeline without proving so, and it would get rid of any other example for what a side story could be, etc., etc. So this argument is actually really false, and it's just, presupposing and predictating things that you haven't actually proved. And this is the problem with these Dragon Ball fans. They love jumping to conclusions whenever they hear something, and they never want to get, into an actual reason behind it. Now, look, I don't want to stereotype.
I'm the strongest boo, no matter what the future may hold.
God, yo, you have no idea how much I've been dealing with this for the past 3 months, bro. Like, okay, with the Kid Buu versus Buhan thing, but
he's a fusion. He's supposed to get stronger, even though the Kai said he got weaker.
Oh my god, bro! Next, keep going.
TUI is stronger than MUI because it was going up against Granola.
Now, I did for a little bit. I was under the impression that TUI was stronger than MUI. Then I had to go back and read, like it's verbatim stated that MUI is the strongest version of MUI. TUI was just more applicable, and Goku was able to get more out of it in that scenario.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all it is. So, there could be certain moments where TUI is more effective, but like not because of power. Like I wouldn't say
something is not mentioned, so it cannot be canon.
show up in GT. So GT is canon to the movies, and it wouldn't be canon to the main timeline because the movies are stated to be in alternate dimensions.
Wait, watch this. No, not only GT's
GT's
canon, but Cooler's canon too.
In the Daizenshu and the Chozenshu, and the events of Cooler are actually in the main continuity. They take place after Trunks leaves and before the androids arrive. It's confirmed that Cooler is canon. Cooler is part of the main timeline. So therefore, the events of Cooler actually do happen. And no, I'm not referring to the sequel movie. Do not strawman me for the things that I'm saying about Cooler. So I do not know if the second movie is canon. It likely isn't, but the first movie.
I would say so. I don't think there's anything like really deviating from it. Like,
oh, and people try to argue the whole Kami Guardian of Earth thing over and over again.
There's literally there's an entire explanation for why that happens. Like, not in the series, it's like not in the movie, but like it's explained like professionally and like production wise why he was there, because that's what the movies do. Like, the movies give new flavors of the manga in them. Like, for example, that's why Goku has the Kaioken like during the Wheelo fight and like during those instances, because it's a new flavor of the manga. So for like a little Easter egg purpose, bam, there, I'll just drop that in there. Like, it's not a continuity thing. It has nothing to do with that. It's just about production errors. Like, that's it. Like,
yeah, people don't understand. Like, Dragon Ball canon is just as complex as Mario or Sonic or God of War.
Like, bro, even
PlayStation All-Stars. Oh my goodness.
Like, bro, even Koyama himself had to make it clear that like making the moves and placing them in a timeline was tough to do because he didn't really have Toriyama's help like that. Like, Toriyama was like laser focused on the manga and he couldn't really help the anime staff like that. That's why Koyama was struggling, and that's why there's so many plot holes in the movies, because he didn't have help. It was just him on his own. Like,
yo, Victor G, bro, Victor G, it really is that deep, because Dragon Ball GT is something that thousands of fans love, but they get criticized for it because their show was quote unquote not canon.
Like, bro. Also, TUI got gas pissing his pants because of Bardock's PTSD, so that could explain why Goku was having the upper hand. I don't know about that. I think arguing a mental nerf in that instance would be kind of crazy. I don't know. You can argue it for sure, but I wouldn't say like consistency.
Most of his canon, he is mentioned in the Daizenshu and the Chozenshu, which is the updated Daizenshu. And for the next argument, people try to say that Vegeta knowing fusion would mean fusion reborn, so it is not.
Oh God! Even though, wait. Okay, let's keep going. First of all, Fusion Reborn happened a long time ago in comparison to Super, so Vegeta might forget. That's not a crazy thing to assume or assert. Like, I know for if something happened a long time ago and we was over there like I'm over here dying and I'm going through absolute torture, I think a freaking dance is going to be the last thing on my mind when my spirit is being tortured in the afterlife. I'm just saying, like, that's probably going to be the last thing on my temple, but that's an assumption. I'm just like trying to be funny. But in terms of this, again, it's just it's human error. Like,
not canon to the main continuity.
It's not that deep.
This would be false because Vegeta would know fusion from the Broly movie, which actually is part of the main continuity, and it is an event where it did happen. So in the Broly movie, which actually is part of the main continuity.
Facts. By the way, this scan has nothing to do with them being connected. Super fans of love lying. What does this have to do with anything? What's this about?
Because when they talk about Gogeta appearing, it's only in reference to media appearances.
Oh, okay.
But people love glazing it because of an arrow, and they just appeal to whatever they see.
From the Broly movie. And also, I could just make the argument that since GT is a 5-year time skip from the end of Z, it would be enough time for Vegeta to get knowledge from his own children about the fusion dance. So it doesn't have to equate to the Fusion Reborn movie. It doesn't have to be the only conclusion. That's excluding any other possible conclusion.
That's called a false dichotomy, by the way.
Interpretation that it doesn't have to equate to the Fusion Reborn movie. And there's more evidence that Vegeta would know fusion from the main continuity rather than the movie continuity. Which is, never implied to be the case. It could literally just be anything else that isn't the movie continuity. And we have more concrete evidence that it would be from the main continuity, especially with the Broly movie. And now the third argument is that so therefore GT is connected to Wrath of the Dragon, which is not part of the main continuity. Now this argument is false because that's presupposing the Wrath of the Dragon attacks, like the Dragon Fist, has to be exclusive to a singular timeline, which this isn't true. There's no evidence to support this, and the Dragon Fist doesn't have to be exclusive to a single timeline. It can be in multiple different timelines. Like, since I already proved to you, since I already proved to you guys that GT is part of the main timeline, right? That would just mean that Dragon Fist is part of the main timeline and the Wrath of the Dragon timeline. So these arguments are just horrible, and they don't know how to think outside the box. And
you could argue that. Like, I've also seen people say like, we never saw Goku train or make up the ability. We never saw Goku learn the Twin Dragon Shot. We never saw him learn the Super God Fist. We never saw him learn any of those techniques, but we saw him configure them up on the fly or pop them up when he needed
Also,
them.
I love how
Like,
Dragon Ball fans like calling Goku a fraud when there are literal moves that he himself created.
facts. Like, and then when you mention these moves, people, well, that's just like a subset of a move that he stole, but it's his own innovation with that move. It's his own creative prowess.
See, Kamehameha.
Like, that's another technique that he came up with on his own. Like, he had to do that himself. The Twin Dragon Shot, sure, it's a Kamehameha. He had to learn how to control his energy like that on his own. That's another technique that he made on his own. Like, bro, come on.
Oh yeah, by the way, in Dragon Ball GT, they literally called, in the guidebooks, they literally called the Dragon Fist a new technique, which contradicts that it existed before in the main continuity.
Wait,
or how Goku trained it in secret within the 5-year time skip.
Oh, okay. Wait. So I'm confused. Is Wrath of the Dragon canon to the main continuity or no?
No, but I can't speak. I have heard arguments implying that it could be, so it doesn't matter.
So select or certain movies are canon to the main continuity?
Yeah, because of the Daizenshuu and Chozenshuu blatantly shoving it in people's faces. And also Garlic Jr.'s in there too.
Huh. So why not all of them then?
The reason why there's not all of them is because the movie pamphlet has stated that some of the movies are essentially what could have been or like alternate timelines.
Okay.
Like it's not because they don't fit, it's because of the movie pamphlet.
All right, for sure. All right, now I'm locked in. Okay, we good.
You know, Cooler's canon. So I can give them that, but Cooler's canon though. So that argument just doesn't work. They're not like, it's not a new continuity at all. All right, so the next goofball argument is that Toriyama says you don't have to agree with GT being part of the story if you don't like it. And I'm going to be...
That's something he actually said, but I'll debunk it.
Okay, so this argument is just an appeal to belief fallacy because it's simply saying that you want to believe something is true, therefore it should be true. But the problem with this is that the production themselves view GT as part of the story, and that should be taken objectively true. In fact, the saying that you don't have to from Akira is invalidated by himself because he himself likes GT. He has given only positive feedback to GT saying he recommends it and enjoyed watching it. So these goofballs get invalidated by Toriyama himself, and the fact that he likes GT is blatant proof that he views it as the grand final story of Dragon Ball. All right, so this is actually my favorite argument because I know that me explaining this will definitely convert Dragon Ball Super fans into start representing GT as part of the canon timeline. And this argument is basically, if Dragon Ball GT is canon, why don't the characters use their god forms or any form that they achieved in Dragon Ball Super? This is actually explained in GT. In GT, pretty much, Goku, the wish that affected Goku, it nerfed his powers. It nerfed his ability to control his power. It nerfed his stamina. It nerfed his ability to use techniques. And pretty much this would prevent him from using shit like Super Saiyan Blue or Ultra Instinct or Super Saiyan God or anything like that. And it's not like that matters anyway because Goku literally absorbs Super Saiyan God in the base form. So Goku still has access to God Ki and the power of Super Saiyan God within him. It's just that he can't use any of the godly transformations. And it's not like that matters anyway because Super Saiyan 4 is stronger than all those forms labeled as the strongest transformation. It also does the same things like Ultra Instinct does, but way better. So it has all the perks that would make Ultra Instinct and every single other
the heightened senses of Super Saiyan 4 are more advanced than anything Ultra Instinct has ever produced.
Yeah, I've never seen like a technique not work after like MUI Goku's experienced it. Like I've never seen that before. With Goku and GT though, I've seen that a few times. I've used it in videos. Like
Goku doesn't use the god forms. And for people who are like, oh, but where's Piccolo? Where's Gohan? This is actually addressed. Piccolo and Gohan did not gain any spotlight. The writers did not allow this to happen. They did not give Gohan and Piccolo spotlight because the story was more focused on Goku's story, being ended. It's also established, if you try to argue that a character not showing a transformation is essentially a contradiction to the timeline, you're basically arguing from an argument from silence. Just because a character doesn't use a transformation doesn't mean that it's not canon. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have the transformation. It's just that he just doesn't use it. Refraining from an action doesn't disprove a canonical event. And this could be for a plethora of reasons. It could be for moral considerations. It could just be that, they forgot it or something like that. I'm not saying this applies to a character, but I'm saying that this doesn't really work. This argument isn't how you form like a logical conclusion, which is why it's a horrible argument to try to debunk Dragon Ball GT's canonicity. So that's not a good argument to use like at all. And, you know, it's also setting a nirvana fallacy because that's setting realistic expectations over an idealized story. So just because the authors don't want to show a character using a transformation doesn't exactly mean that the story they made isn't canon. That's just you setting realistic standards over an idealized story created by authors that are not you. So this argument is also kind of selfish in a way. So do not use these arguments. These arguments are absolutely horrible to
Carthus Dojo, bro. Carthus Dojo appeals to this a lot.
Debunk GT because it is canon.
Carthus does what? Carthus does what?
Carthus Dojo appeals to nirvana fallacy.
Oh, a lot.
They're
that's like why his shorts kind of irritate me a little bit.
They're all frauds, except maybe like Smug Stick or someone, I don't know.
I'll probably say Smug and Saiyan Scholar are the only ones I trust currently.
Saiyan Scholar, nah, he got that. Saiyan Scholar got that, bro. He's been saying GT Goku is outer versal
for the longest time. He's been saying that he's been saying that for years. For years. Like, this isn't something new. I don't know why people are just like now trying to jump on the bandwagon. Like, bro, Saiyan Scholar been on this timing. You've been on this. Like, my only thing now is that like
yeah, I know all about GT, even though I got amped by another nigga.
But yeah, I think like him and Drip, and then like that's really it with the exceptions.
Exility, bro. Exility and Drip were in Facebook group chats defending Dragon Ball back then.
That's a lot of commitment. I ain't doing all that. I'm not doing all that.
Yo, so did he just die? Man.
My bad.
All right, well, we gotta keep playing this.
But I keep fighting Hakai all the time, bro. Fun fact: they stated that Gohan didn't train entirely.
Oh yeah, I know the goofy people try to say the whole Gohan 15 years thing, even though that gets retconned by Super.
I think giving up on fighting kind of just means like he's not like the hero he used to be. Like, he's not fighting for the fate of the earth. Like he's not the flagship hero anymore. Which, I mean, is cool, but like I definitely do think that like he came back as a super warrior all of a sudden. So like he has his ultimate form back or something?
Or like something like that, yeah. And it kind of lines up with GT's case too, because they stated that Gohan can mix his ultimate form with Super Saiyan, and in Super
he does
they
that
brought back his ultimate form.
He does it in Battle of the Gods.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure I heard that he lost it in Resurrection F or something.
Yeah, he completely fell off the band. Like, he fell completely from grace.
Like, yeah, because the thing is, like, when Dragon Ball GT, they put all of the other side characters like Orange Piccolo or Gohan aside because the power cliffing in GT became so big that Goku quite literally was the only hope left. Which kind of makes sense if you think about it. You really expect Orange Piccolo to be fighting Omega Shenron? Be for real, bro.
Come on, bro. That's a slam session and a half. I ain't gonna hold you. That's a slam and a half. All right, let's knock out these last 10 minutes.
Super fans are finding out that their entire show is a prequel.
You can also use the Nirvana fallacy and argument from silence as a good way to debunk the, oh, why aren't characters mentioned? Oh, why don't characters show up? You can definitely use that as a way to debunk those arguments as well, because they follow the same like stupid logic. But here's the problem. The or character showing up, that's actually addressed by the writers. It stated that the staff team was too busy working on the villains, and that was kind of
I wonder why
within like the studio involved in making Dragon Ball GT. And also people like to ask the question on, oh, where's Beerus? Oh, where's Whis? This is actually established in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, where if you select GT Goku against Beerus, there's actually special interactions of Beerus not knowing who GT Goku is, or like he's like, oh, Goku, you turned back into a kid. Did the Namekian Dragon Balls do it? Like, Beerus doesn't know what happened to Goku, and if you make Super Saiyan 4 Goku go against Whis, Whis literally calls Goku a perfect fit for a god of destruction, which implies that Goku is literally way too strong for the training of the gods, because he's quite like literally beyond Beerus at this point. There are plenty of statements for you to prove this, and I'll make this in a separate video of me scaling how strong GT actually is.
That's
so,
fire.
Yes, this is very consistent. And before anyone says, oh, Xenoverse is not canon, Xenoverse is canon. There are plenty of statements of Toriyama being involved with Xenoverse, but I might make that a separate video, I'm not sure. But the whole premise of Xenoverse is that it's literally all about timelines and history, and you're playing as the main timeline GT Goku. talking to the main timeline Beerus, and if you're making them talk to each other, that's what happened. It's kind of like a hypothetical what if of what if GT Goku went back to Beerus. Although this conversation isn't exactly in the anime, it's kind of just like a what if.
That picture is hilarious.
Send Beerus and GT Goku to talk to each other, and they literally know each other because the events literally happen. It's just that Beerus isn't on Earth anymore, and he's probably back on his planet because GT Goku and Vegeta likely also graduated from the training of Beerus and Whis, so they do not talk to each other anymore.
Which explains why Goku's wearing blue gi, by the way.
Probably very accurate. This what if is probably very accurate to the Dragon Ball Z story, and probably explains why we do not see Beerus at all. And before anyone says, "Oh, Beerus could just one-shot any character from Dragon Ball GT,"
that's a damn lie.
Useful against the Mega Shenron or some shit like that. I've seen people say that. That is not true. Baby absolutely wipes the fucking floor with Beerus. And not touching any of the Shadow Dragons. So no, Beerus would actually be incredibly useless, and he would not even be useful to the whole premise.
He's basically the new King Kai of GT.
Low key.
Which is why there are only a handful of characters that actually contribute to what this is. And I already mentioned that the screenwriter has already established why certain characters do not appear as much because of studio planning. So yeah, in a way, Dragon Ball like media already answers these questions about super characters not showing up and stuff like that. So that is my reasoning for it. And yeah, easy debunk. For the next stupid ass argument, there's another argument that GT is only canon to the Battle of Gods movie timeline. Now, this like stupid argument doesn't work because both Battle of Gods and Dragon Ball Super are both labeled as continuations of the manga. It's just that Dragon Ball Super is more of an updated version of the Battle of Gods movie. Dragon Ball Super is an extension of the Battle of Gods movie while also retelling the events in order to extend the story. Like they literally retcon things like Beerus' power in order to make it more of a goalpost for Goku. So no, the movie timeline is not a thing. It doesn't exist. It's just that the movies are outdated and that they've been updated within Dragon Ball Super, showing us new content that has never been seen before. So no, this argument doesn't work. And in fact, it just is an extension that builds up to the end of Z. And even the timeline in 2017 debunks it, as I showed in the beginning of the video. So do not use these arguments. You super fans cannot be using these corny ass arguments, and they are incredibly petty. But however, I will give you the benefit that I can respect people believing that GT is only canon to the movies. But however, there's no such thing as a movie timeline, so that's like a huge common misconception. Here's another argument that super fans try to make in order to prove that GT is not canon. They like to argue that the Pilaf gang is old and that in Super the Pilaf gang are younger, so GT cannot be canon because these two different characters have like two different ages. But this would just be a retcon to their ages and not the actual timeline. So this is not an argument that is good to debunk GT because I'm going to say it again. This only debunks their ages and not the actual timeline. Retcons happen all the time. Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, they love talking about that one.
One of the most famous arguments to debunk GT is that the Kais are still fused when in Super they are not. But this would just be a retcon to them being fused and not the actual timeline. So yes, they will be unfused in GT, or I can just make the argument that they somehow refused off screen because we don't always see them. There could have been an instance that caused them to fuse later on in the story because Dragon Ball Super isn't exactly finished. Either way, it doesn't matter.
I mean, even with Daima, we didn't see them defuse.
Exactly, and then that's where the argument gets destroyed.
Like we just randomly see them separated, and they're like, "Oh yeah, y'all defused." Like that's all it was. So like,
it would just be a retcon to the fact that they were fused and not the actual timeline. So they would realistically be unfused in GT. What's even funnier is that the people that still make this logic in order to debunk GT would be admitting that Daima is not canon. And the majority of the Dragon Ball fandom actually now believes that Daima is canon based off of the information that has been given to us, which is true. I believe Daima is canon, and plenty of others believe Daima is canon. But since you believe Daima is canon, you are inadvertently trying to say that Super isn't canon if you still follow this logic, because in Battle of Gods, the Kais are still fused. And in Daima, they are not fused. So does that mean that Super isn't canon anymore because the Kais are still fused? No, this is just a retcon. This wouldn't work at all. And it's very likely that in Daima, they're going to refuse again somehow. So yeah, they're still going to refuse somehow. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but it's just a retcon to the fact that they're fused and not the actual timeline. And for people who think Daima is canon, you guys are also being incredibly hypocritical because Daima is also called a side story. Yeah, sorry, Geekdom 101, but your retarded ass argument is not going to do any justice for you. Arguments that, try to debunk GT, but they're fine for Daima. That doesn't work at all. And for the final debunk of this video, people try to argue that the timeline is unreliable or not valid because Pikkon shows up in the timeline. However, Pikkon is canon. Toriyama admits that filler is part of the Dragon Ball.
That scan is mistranslated though. I have
I found that it was.
I had to kind of learn that the hard way. It doesn't really like change too much of the context, but like because the statement of Dragon Ball, it's the anime and manga that still is there. There are like certain things that aren't really. It doesn't change the statement too much though.
Not separated in any way whatsoever, blatantly saying that Dragon Ball is the anime and the manga. Pikkon also shows up in Dragon Ball Z Kai, which is a show that is meant to remove the filler to get a better audience experience for the.
And it still doesn't do that. Like it still doesn't even do that.
It still doesn't even do that.
Like,
Oh no, I've heard no. I've heard the whole but Super is canon to Kai. Are we dead ass?
I literally got into a full argument with somebody by the name of Zen because they think this. Like, and
no, like I'm not even joking. I debunked it because the reason why they removed the filler was because of pacing experience.
It's just that. Literally, because
that's literally why they did it. It's not trying to match
Victoria
on the vision.
Like they're appealing to new demographic. They're like appealing to like little kids now. So like their attention spans are smaller. So they're gonna have to like condense the series some more. Like, and they can't take out actual important manga details.
Oh, by the way, Inside Boo was removed in Kai. So they're basically saying manga canon isn't part of anime.
It's like what? Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like that's like literally why a majority of the episodes in Kai are called mixed. Like they're called mixed filler, mixed canon. They're not strictly manga canon episodes. Like, come on now, Gregory is in Kai.
Bad. No, I've seen like literal Dragon Ball Battle of Gods guidebooks or super guidebooks that use screenshots from Z.
Like the Chosenshu pulls from Z. They don't pull from Kai. Like what?
What are they talking about? I swear, do not let Dragon Ball fans try to judge the canon, bro. It has gotten so bad, bro.
One more thing. The intro to Dragon Ball Super pulls scenes from where? Z, not Kai. They don't pull from Kai. They pulled from Z as the.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure they have like audio flashbacks from Kai, but the footage they have is from Z.
Yeah, the footage is from Z. My bad. Not the audio. Not the audio. When they're like when they're talking about the wishes they made to like make everybody forget Boo and everything like that, that's audio from Kai. To kind of like match up with the new feel of like the
It's the new audio because the Kai was in 2011.
Yeah, and like Super's like in 2017, so like 2015 really. But like, you know, it's easier to get things closer to how you were sounding 4 years ago than it.
By the way, no one complained with this video except a few people, and the people in question didn't even finish the video.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that. It'd be like that.
No, because I remember watching your comment sections, like when I was new to your channel and seeing it, I'm like, oh, they only destroyed the Sugoroku space, not the subspace. Explain why Goku, right? If Goku destroyed the Sugoroku space, he would be trapped in between dimensions forever. That would ruin the whole point.
Exactly. That's the whole reason why this, like the Shinigami are destroying the game.
Why? And guess what? There's literal guidebooks that say that after he destroyed the Sugoroku space, he ended up in outer space, like in the living world.
Like, come on.
Are we dead ass?
Bro, Dragon Ball fans never finna beat the allegations. They never finna beat the allegations, bro. It's gonna be a never-ending cycle. Like,
so this is not a good argument. Pycon is in fact canon. He literally shows up in a Dragon Ball Z Kai episode. He's also mentioned in other guidebooks in the encyclopedia as a character whose events did actually happen. So you can't use the argument that Pycon like disregards the timeline, which he does not. Pycon does not disregard the timeline. The timeline is still valid, and Pycon is canon.
Yeah, by the way, did you know that the Chosenshu acknowledges the existence of alternate timelines and takes them out of their main story?
Is it in the second one?
No, in Chosenshu 4, there's a scan about Super Saiyan Bardock being in an alternate continuity.
The Chilled OVA?
Yeah.
Oh, I still haven't seen that all the way through to this day. I only seen the Bardock go Super Saiyan thing. But that makes some sense. Like, again, if the whole thing about like the movies and the OVA.
Oh, and by the way, did you know that you know Yamoshi went Super Saiyan 4?
Is it like I think I know where you're going with this. Is it like the fur on his body and the tail?
No, it's because there's statements from almost every GT guide, including the Perfect Files, that confirm that Super Saiyan 4 is the legendary Super Saiyan.
Is Yamoshi the legendary Super Saiyan?
Yeah, he was. And then Goku was the one 1,000 years after, where his spirit went to Goku. Oh, well, according to a Toriyama interview, I don't know.
I think I remember seeing something vaguely in there where like he made that, like that's why like you see never mind, I'm a yacht fest. All right, but yeah. So all in all, let me finish this all the way through.
Dragon Ball for a while now. That's why people come up with terms like anime canon and stuff like that, because filler is canon. and you can't exactly disregard that. You know, Gregory, the little bug in the Henkai's planet, yeah, he's not in the manga. He's canon only to the anime, and Python would also be canon. So this logic is not valid in any way whatsoever.
The filler literally mixes itself inside of canon
anyway,
episodes.
That's all I have for this video. Dragon Ball GT is just as canon as Dragon Ball Super is, and Super fans have been coping and cannot accept that Dragon Ball GT is canon, even though the evidence is right in front of their face. Of course, I know that this is probably not all of the quote-unquote debunks to GT, but these are the main ones. And if you guys give me a bunch of Dragon Ball GT debunks, I may make a second video debunking those arguments as well, but this is mainly a debunk to cover all of the main arguments. But yeah, GT's canon. Super Saiyan 4 is like epic and stuff like that. I don't know why people don't like GT. There are great elements in GT, and that's all I have for this video. Yeah, see you.
Yeah, that was the whole video.
All right.
No, but I do want to ask you something though. Dude, I remember when I was on TikTok and I literally have no connections with like power scalers other than like Drips. I think Drip Sauce used to follow me. He didn't follow me because I was repping GT once. But I remember do you know this guy Echo? Do you know who that is? Is he your son? Is he your son?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Have you beaten him in a debate?
Yes. Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Yeah, wasn't he trying to argue that Kaba beats Gogeta?
It was that, but that's not what I beat him on.
What'd you beat him?
He used to think that Goku was galaxy level, and like he didn't touch the outer, he didn't touch the universal spectrum, and that had me hot. So we debated on 5D Goku, and he got slammed. And then like we stopped talking for a while. He went through something with like how going through homelessness and everything like that. And then
wait, is that the guy Drip Sauce was donating to?
If that's the case, that's crazy. Like
really? Man, he should have stayed dead. My goodness.
Damn. But yeah, I'll be like,
why is he walking around repping Kaba? Yeah, no, you're gonna become skinny as Kaba the next time I see you. Hell nah.
But yeah, that's
wait. Galaxy level Goku? Maybe in the Cell saga at latest. You know Cell shook an infinite universe, right? Which is IUD at low ball.
Come on, bro. Like,
we're done with this, bro. No, because wait till people find out that the whole power level of 10,000 is enough to destroy Earth is actually not true, because Earth is considered small in Dragon Ball. They're talking about an average planet.
I never thought of it like that. Earth is considered to be like an infinitesimal, like compared to other planets. But all right, chat. So I currently have to take my leave now.
Wait, Zeta, when will you be making another live stream? Because I have my notifications on.
Not tonight. I definitely do think Tuesday will be the next time I'll be live, because that's when I'll drop the next vid. And we'll go over the discussions for that. This week is not hectic, but there are some certain things I got to address. But yeah, with that being said, Zeta, thank you so much for coming on here, showcasing.
You're welcome. I'll appreciate coming back maybe in the future.
For sure. We'll love to have you. But yeah, chat, this has been all from me. See y'all later, man.